In this video, I'm going to be covering the top 11 events happening for the month of June in Newberg. Now, this is only the top events happening in this month. Normally, I do all of the recurring events. What I'm actually going to take out in this video is all the events that happen every single week. So you can check out Newsberg, which is the best events calendar in Newberg that I'm aware of. And this video is actually in collaboration with Newsberg. So feel free to go over to the events calendar on Newsberg. And this video is just highlights of what's to come this next month. All right, the first event I'm covering is Young Pros. This is going to be with Habitat for Humanity at the Restore location. This is an incredible opportunity to network with other young professionals around Newberg and the surrounding areas, Yamhill Valley, and I highly recommend you come check it out. The next event is Rotary. What I'm going to do, in fairness to all the other service clubs, is point out that there's actually 3 Rotaries in Newberg. There's also a Kiwanis and Seroptimus Club. So I'm a noon Rotarian, which means we meet every Wednesday at noon. There's also Thursday morning. There's also a Friday at noon. I highly recommend Rotary or another service club for this reason. Newberg is able to operate the way it does, and the nonprofits are able to operate the way they do because of service clubs and generous people who give back to this town and get involved. So I highly recommend finding a way to get involved, whether it's a service club like Rotary or another one, because you'll also find that it's just a really rewarding thing to do. All right, next up is the Wednesday market. Now this is recurring as well, but Wednesday market is something that only happens in the summer months from May through September. This is a really great opportunity to come and see what Newberg has to offer. There's a lot of small vendors who have things from clothing, small wooden toys, to spirits and alcohol, things like that, to small makeshift crafts. There's all kinds of things that the Newberg Wednesday Market has to offer. So it's a great place to come by, grab some food, and support local vendors. June 7th is the first Friday Art Walk. This is a great opportunity to see what other businesses in Newberg have to offer, see some friends downtown, because you'll probably run into someone you know, make some new friends. There's usually going to be live musicians playing, things like that. So the Newberg First Friday is a great time to come downtown, and especially in the summer months, enjoy some nice weather. On June 9th is the Feed Newberg 5K. So the Feed Newberg 5K is to support the community kitchen that is at Northside Church. They're doing an amazing job hosting the emergency shelter, and they've been doing that for a long time. So the community kitchen there makes sure that they actually have the capacity to feed all the meals. I think they serve like 70,000 meals a year. So they really need a new kitchen, and this 5K goes to support that. On June 10th is the Provoking Hope Golf Tournament. So this is a great opportunity if you are a golfer to come and support a really great organization. Provoking Hope helps people who are recovering from addiction to find healing, to find peer mentors who can help them walk through the process. So it's a great organization to support, and I highly recommend it if you're into golf. Next event I'm covering is the Juneteenth celebration. Now this event is at the Cultural Center, and my understanding is that the Cultural Center is closed on June 19th, which is Juneteenth. So instead, they'll be celebrating on June 20th. Now the Juneteenth event is actually really important because it commemorates the time when the people in Galveston, Texas finally learned that they were free 2 years after Abraham Lincoln gave the Emancipation Proclamation. So I highly recommend you coming and celebrating with the community Juneteenth in honor of all the people who were slaves and were treated so terribly, and honestly have continued to not be treated well in the years following. Juneteenth is a great way for all of us as Americans to recognize the history that we have. So if Juneteenth is something that you're not quite familiar with, or you're not quite sure why it's celebrated, I really recommend you look into it. It's actually a very important holiday that has not been celebrated in the way that it probably should have been for quite some time. So 4 p.m. at the Cultural Center, come join us and celebrate Juneteenth. Also on June 20th is the Public Works Day. Now this is actually happening earlier in the day, but Juneteenth is what was celebrated first. That's why those two are backwards. Anyway, so the Public Works Day is a really fun opportunity for kids to learn, and adults to learn, about how public works and how it helps Newberg run. One of the cool things is that they give away free food. You can see all the different public works vehicles. They've got fire trucks, they've got tractors, and kids love to climb up and they can honk the horn and, pretend they're driving it and that kind of thing. One of the fun things that's going to be happening this year is they're going to unveil the name of Newberg's new electric street sweeper, which I think is kind of cool. I voted for Sweeping Beauty. We'll see if that one got chosen or not, but either way, that's a really fun day to come and be a part of. All right, June 20th is apparently a very busy day. In the evening of June 20th at 6 p.m. is going to be the How to Save to Buy a Home class. Now, what's really cool about this is being put on by Newberg Credit Union. It's free for anyone who's in that stage of wondering about buying a home, and specifically saving to buy a home because buying a home is expensive. Now, what's really fun for me is that I got invited to be a part of this. I got to be invited as one of the speakers to share about how to buy a home just from the real estate perspective. So I highly recommend you come and check that out if you're interested in buying a home anytime within the next 5 years. That's going to be a really important event. One thing I'll just note about that is when you're saving to buy a home, it's really easy for money to just kind of go in all different kinds of places. And you can find that at the end of the month, you weren't able to save exactly what you thought you were going to be able to save. One of the great things about Newberg Credit Union is they have financial counselors. They're not really financial advisors, but they're people who can help you create a budget and stick with the budget. And you're not having to pay the same kind of fees that you would for like a financial advisor. And you don't need to have money like actually invested with them. So it's a great opportunity to come learn and learn to set up a budget as well. My last event on June 20th, if you don't already have enough things to do on that day, is the longest day 5K, which is a race for fighting the cure of Alzheimer's. Now, what I also didn't realize is that June 20th is the summer solstice. It's the official beginning of summer, which is maybe why so many events fall on that day. But this is a great opportunity if you are a runner and want to help support the cause for Alzheimer's. The money going to this event is going to help support research for a cure for Alzheimer's, which is a really horrible disease that I hope they do find a cure for. So that is at 5:30 p.m. if you're interested. All right, and to wrap things up for the month of June, at least for this video, is the Newberg Hazardous Waste Day. Now, if you have hazardous waste that you've been collecting over the months, this is an opportunity to get rid of that in a safe way and not just throwing it in the garbage. You do have to sign up. There are 600 slots available, although those slots are quickly going away. So I highly recommend going to the link and selecting your time if you've got stuff that you need to get rid of. All right, well, that's it for this video. Remember to go to Newsberg's event calendar. They've got all the latest up-to-date information. There's probably going to be other events added in the middle of the month that obviously can't be recorded at the beginning of the month. So check out Newsberg, and I hope to see you at one of the events this month.